Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hiya, fit like. I hope every one of you had a fantastic Christmas and holiday season. Mine was pretty quiet but perfect. We had Christmas dinner with my parents-in-law and that was fun. Anyway, this is the second series of my Calathea plants. If you haven't seen the first one yet, I will link it in the description bar. So without further ado, please subscribe, hit the bell, get your tea ready, and let's get into this video. Okay guys, meet my precious Calathea ZEBRINA. This is the second Calathea that I brought home with me. She is 1 year old now this November. I'm so happy it's still alive and thriving. If you can see it. Yeah. She was a diva for a start, but it isn't anymore. I'm so thankful that we really get along so well now. When I bought this plant, I didn't think of or expect that ZEBRINA was a difficult plant to take care of. All I could think of is she's so pretty, so green, so vibrant, and velvety to touch. It was love at first sight, so I had to have it. I bought this plant, it was on sale, and there were a few, and all were in bad condition, and this was only ZEBRINA that was still in great shape. I think I bought this plant for a $5 as far as I remember. So yeah, look at her. She's so pretty. Love it. So as soon as I brought this home, this plant was so unhappy, especially when I repotted her into a bigger pot. The leaves were turning brown and crispy, and the leaves were slowly dying. I was very worried. So I found a way to increase the humidity at home by putting this plant on top of pebbles with water, and that helped a lot. And I transferred this plant back into a smaller pot and moved this plant around the house to find a perfect place for her. And eventually I put her on top of this cabinet in front of my north-facing window. And since then she settled down and this plant is on the mend. I did a lot of research to nurse my ZEBRINA. And I found out this plant is very finicky and tend to go dormant during winter. And what else? Yeah, I become more knowledgeable how to take care of my Calathea because of this ZEBRINA. In the end of the day, you have to get to know your plants' needs to keep them happy and alive, and you became more attached to them because the amount of effort you put into it, and it's very rewarding when your plants gives back to you. Okay, in terms of soil, I was using multi-purpose soil only, and it was doing great, but now this one has perlite and bark. I repotted this plant recently as it was badly root bound. I was hesitant at first because this plant is so finicky, and the first time I did it, it went downhill, so it took courage and confidence to repot this plant into a slightly bigger pot. And thank goodness I did it because she's more than happy and thriving. I'm super careful with my ZEBRINA, guys, because like I said, she's very finicky. I don't disturb this plant aside from watering and jiggling this plant to stimulate the hormones. When it comes to watering, you need to be extra careful. You don't overwater this plant because majority of Calathea, they love their soil damp but not saturated. So it's really important that the pot has drainage, and that is like common knowledge when it comes to indoor plants that sometimes we need to be reminded of, and I'm totally guilty of that. All of my Calathea are still in the nursery pots, and some of them are they are in original pots. There's no need to repot them because they are not root bound. As long as there's no manifestation, so I leave them in their original pots. And yeah, as well as allowing them to adapt to the house environment. And yeah, my plants are happy. And then what else? The other reason that my Calathea plants are in a nursery pot, because if I put them into terracotta pot, I have to water them more often, as terracotta absorbs water, where the plastic pots is the complete opposite. So I don't have to water them as often. And yeah, and they seem to love it anyway. So so you have to be careful not to overwater this plant, guys. So use moisture meter if you have one, and I don't. So I use my only technique is touch the soil and use my instincts, because I know my Calathea plants so well, so I'm pretty confident. And oh, just last week I started spraying water over my Calathea plants because the humidity is so low and the air is so dry. So yeah, and I don't really spray my Calathea plants because I noticed it caused damage to my Calathea Compost. Where is it? You will see tiny dots or speckles on their leaves. I think it has something to do with the chemicals of the water. I don't know, so I stopped doing it. But this winter I got to try something to increase the humidity at home without using humidifiers. So anyway, as you can see, it still has the old leaves. Where's the other one? This one here. I don't bother to remove them unless they turned yellow, like the whole leaf turned yellow. I don't bother to remove them. Like I said, guys, disturb this plant as little as possible because this plant is so finicky. I know, we've been through a lot. So yeah, don't disturb this plant, guys. Stop fiddling with your Calathea ZEBRINA. I was so thrilled that she bounced back and survived the winter last year. So I'm hoping she will do the same. I don't see any signs yet, so shh. If you haven't seen my care tips regarding my Calathea plants, I will link it in the description bar. And I think that's it. This is my Calathea ZEBRINA diary. I hope this video helps you to take care of this type of plant. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. I will answer them for you. And yeah, give this video a thumbs up, guys, if you find this plant diary interesting. I hope I don't bore you talking about plants, and kudos if you made it here. And yeah, I will see you next Calathea video, and I wish you all the best in 2020. Happy New Year, guys. Bye.